Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be explaining why Jay's audio is an idiot. So, the only reason I'm making this video is because a fan of mine linked me to his latest video, essentially copying me saying that Crinacle must be stopped, but his reasoning is definitely a bit flawed, I would say. The thing is, I was expecting to agree with him going into this video considering, how many videos on this topic or regarding Crinacle I have made in the past. But I actually left the video with the opposite, with the opposite impression, surprisingly. And, I'm all for making, videos calling out Crinacle for his devious and grievous actions, but this does not seem to be one of them. And the center of the controversy is Crinacle's tweet about Simgot IEMs, right? He's saying, these IEMs are mid, all except for the EM6L. So yeah, finished testing all the Simgot DDs. My general thoughts: EM6L impressive, great tuning with decent resolution. Everything else, why are they even hyped in the first place? They're all mid. And let's analyze the validity of this claim. So I've pulled up all these Simgot IEMs, at least that Giz Audio has measured, and I even looked at the ones Crinacle has measured, but he only lets you look at 2 at a time if you're not subscribed, so I'm just going to look at these from Giz Audio. And as you can see, all of these have complete, utter, pure dog shit upper treble, except for the EM6L, which actually measures pretty smooth in the upper treble, like relatively smooth in the upper treble. And, I have EM6L, and I have reviewed it. While it's not my favorite IEM, it's pretty good, I'd say. I even said it's pretty good in the video. It's not as good as the Truthier Nova with foam tips, but it's pretty good. I wouldn't say, it's garbage. And these other IEMs are clearly complete garbage. I wouldn't even go so far as to say that they're mid, because they are actually garbage. And, okay, so, yeah, the thing is, Crinacle's tweet is actually accurate. The EM6L is the only decent Simgot IEM. All of the other ones are complete garbage. And the third point Jay's Audio brings up is that all Crinacle IEMs except the Dusk have been mid, and this is not true. All Crinacle IEMs have not been mid, they have been garbage, except for arguably the Dusk, which has been mid. So yeah, that's another thing Jay's Audio is wrong about. And Jay's Audio is like, oh my god, he's making like all these Harman IEMs. And he says like diffuse field because, that's something that like the fake objectivists are trying to do now. But regarding Harman, none of his IEMs have actually been close to Harman. They've all been, deviating in significant areas. So to call them Harman is like definitely a stretch. They're not good. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the Dusk 2 might actually be good. And looking at this graph, I haven't seen this before, but the Dusk 2 is going to be a DSP IEM, essentially meaning that it's going to be using the Blessing 3 drivers, and then they're just going to use EQ, in the IEM itself to fix it. And according to this graph, at least, it's closer to the Harman target than the Truthier Nova, meaning it will get a higher Harman predicted preference rating. But another thing to consider is that Crinacle's measurement rig is not very accurate, so it might actually be further off from Harman than the Truthier Nova on an industry standard rig like Oratory 1990s. But regardless, I think that the Dusk 2 is actually a pretty good idea because you don't really have to do that much analog tuning. You can just EQ it and make it good. The only points of controversy here, I think, are how good will the IEMs, DAC, and amplifier be? Because a lot of the DSP IEMs that have been released previously have had good tuning except for the upper treble, but they've not had the best DACs and amps. You could hear like noise floor and, all these things. And I don't think this is really that difficult of an issue in the first place. Just integrate an Apple dongle or something with the IEM and it should be fine, right? And, if he's able to achieve this, the Dusk 2 with the DSP will probably be really good. Another thing is like if he decides to go USB-C or something, you can't use it with older iPhones, but at the same time, everyone's probably going to be moving to the USB-C iPhone in a few years anyway, so this seems to be a pretty, good move. I don't really have much to complain about here. Although, if you're trying to, use the Dusk 2 with PS5 or some optical source like a television, you're not going to be able to. That's one of my criticisms with DSP IEMs. I don't actually do this anymore because I use speakers in my TV system, so this is not an issue. But I mean, it seems to be pretty good. It's pretty close to the Truthier Nova. It's able to largely fix the 1.3 kilohertz bump the Truthier Nova has because it has DSP, and in other ranges it's pretty close to Harman. I don't really care about the other tunings, but maybe that's a point of this IEM. Let's say Crinacle wants his own target to be in the tuning, and then he's like, okay, maybe I don't like Harman, but maybe Harman actually is the best, and that's why he has this option with the Dusk 2. So I mean, according to this graph, the Dusk 2 will be pretty good probably, but we'll have to test it out and see for sure. This peak in the upper treble might be a little bit suspicious, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to say right now. I'll have to see measurements from Oratory 1990 and possibly try it out myself. And the large problem with Jay's audio is that his criticism of the Harman target does not make any sense because he doesn't actually understand the Harman target that well, and there's like dozens of papers on the Harman target at this point, and I don't think Jay's audio has read any of them. And when you really understand the Harman target, you'll understand that it is the best target. And I have a video explaining why, we're saying goodbye to diffuse field and moving on to the Harman target exclusively, so definitely go watch that if you haven't. I'll link it in the description as well. He then brings up some super unsubstantiated and strange claims about, Drake and him being mid, and it's like he tries to relate that to Crinacle, and it's just a little bit weird, right? And, the final thing is, Crinacle probably knows all his IEMs have been garbage or, quote-unquote mid so far, but the Dusk 2 might actually be good, which is maybe all that matters. And yeah, I'm definitely, looking forward to the Dusk 2 after seeing Jay's Audio's video because he brought my attention to it. But yeah, so Jay's Audio is actually wrong on this one. Crinacle actually seems to be right in this case. So yeah, that's it from me. Jay's Audio is an idiot. The Dusk 2 might actually be good, so see you guys next time. I'm out.